What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin It podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
I'm here, man. I'm loving it. What's up with you, man?
I'm doing better than some people. I'm doing better than some people. But this has been a weird week. This week,
Yeah,
man. The stuff yesterday, and if you haven't had a chance to go over to Sandstorm's channel, we did a stormcast last night with the first topic we're gonna be talking about right now.
yeah.
Cause here we go again, man. Here we
Gotta
go
love it,
again.
man. Gotta love it.
Here we go again. So Um, okay, I'm just gonna the long and short of it is Helena Taylor came out with three videos on Twitter yesterday detailing how she felt uh, unfairly treated. And if you don't know who Helena Taylor is, she is the original voice actress for Bayonetta. She did the
Right,
voice on Bayonetta 1 and 2 and on Smash Brothers.
right,
Smash Brothers Wii U, not Ultimate, but Wii U.
right.
Um, Say this right, Jay. Say this right. So I'm going to say it like this. Look, I am not one of them people that see somebody put something up on social media and be like, "You're right. I support
Yeah,
you. Screw everybody else." I don't do that.
right.
One, I don't work in the voice acting field, so I have no idea what to compare what she was being paid, what she got
Right.
offered, I should say, what she
Offered,
got
yeah.
offered to, uh, something else. I can't, you know, uh, I can't equate that. So
Hmm.
I can't talk about that. People say 4,000 is measly compared to what?
Exactly.
So compared to what? I mean, because I've listened to voice actors like Nolan North talk, do interviews and stuff, and they're like, yeah, man, it's tough when you're first starting because you have to take a lot of jobs just because there's so much, because you're new basically, and the
Hmm.
pay ain't like you're an established name. You're not Sam Jackson, so you're not gonna get Sam Jackson money.
Nah.
So you have to, because I remember hearing an interview he did a few years back about that. So I was like, okay, I don't know what the 4,000 is in comparison to, and
Right.
on top of that, like when you do some research on it, it depends on how your contract is set up. You may be
Yep.
getting paid by the amount of lines you have. You may be getting paid by the amount of sessions you have. It just depends on how your contract is set up. I don't know how
Right.
her contract was set up because you know what? She didn't tell nobody.
Exactly.
Um, there
Yep.
was there was some things that I did that she didn't say, and the thing that irked me was one, going after Jennifer Hale, who has nothing to do with your situation.
Correct.
That's number one. Number two, uh, you telling people to boycott it.
Hmm.
Um, she's not the only person that works on this game
Correct.
or on this game series.
All right.
Yes, she is the original voice actor. Yes, she is. Um, and if she felt disrespected, you because it sounded like it was a negotiation. You counter offer in negotiations
Hmm.
if you feel like you're being lowballed. And
Correct.
just to let people know, every corporation lowballs you because they're not going to pay you off the rip. They're not going to
Yep.
offer you big money off the rip.
Yep.
They're, nobody does that.
Hmm.
That's nobody across the board does that. Like
Yep.
they lowball first, and then you get to where you want. If she felt disrespect, she did the right thing. She was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not doing that. Take your ball and leave.
Yeah.
Okay,
Every
that's
right.
how you're supposed to handle it.
Yeah.
But like I said, she lost me when she went after Jennifer Hale, who once again has nothing to do with her situation, and two, telling people to boycott it.
Hmm.
Man, I'm just gonna. I told people last night on Stormcast I ain't boycotting shit.
At all.
I
That
ain't.
ain't happening.
That's not happening.
Nah.
That's not happening. There's a lot of people that work on these games. I'm not finna do that. And on top of that, I So because she felt disrespected, I'm supposed to, you know, what about the Spanish voice actors? What
Right.
about the German voice actors? What about her?
Mm-hmm.
What about the rest of the English voice actors?
Yeah, there's a lot more on the table.
I mean, and me and you, we looked at IMDb afterwards just to see, like, okay, let's see what all has been worked on. Like, yeah, Jennifer Hale has a lot of stuff. Like, she has like,
Bruh,
what, like 8 things coming out
yeah,
this year.
this year alone.
Yeah. So,
Like, yeah,
like,
you can't compare. You
yeah.
can't
So I'm like,
compare.
oh yeah, she working. She ain't. So the situation is unfortunate because the game is about to come out, and like I've said many a times, like, why wait? If you say an F the NDA now,
What
you could have
stops you
said
there?
F the NDA back in 2021.
Correct.
So I feel like it's not a situation in which I'm I'm not gonna be jumping on bandwagons because one side is out. And yes, Platinum and Nintendo and Sega ain't saying nothing because they have PR teams for that.
Mm-hmm.
And going after Kamiya and then calling Kamiya a punk and all this, Kamiya been blocking people every year. So he was doing that when Anita Sarkeesian tried to go after him.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna do that to you now.
Yes.
To say he's a punk, to say he's consistent. Go figure.
His energy ain't changed. Like,
Yeah,
he keeps the same energy.
The energy has never changed. So
Nah.
now he ain't. I'm not gonna call him out his name because y'all mad because y'all won't. You deserve answers. Who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Some of y'all really think way too highly of yourself. Like, you're a fan. Okay, like, but that don't mean people owe you explanations. And half the time, people can't owe you an explanation because it's legalities. It's legalities tied to that, which means if I say something, then that's going to be a snowball effect. So, man, yeah. Twitter, y'all hilarious. Y'all are hilarious. And on top of that, and on top of all of this, every time somebody says boycott something, that game immediately starts getting more popular.
Man, this is what it gets: the Switch power, and it also gets the boycott power. Hey, look, if this game don't see at least 3 mil, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, man, bro. Well, look, we know because with the whole Pokemon thing, twice, by the way, for Arceus and for Sword and Shield.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that was twice.
This is a common theme for Pokemon, though.
Yeah, Pokemon, like, wait, nobody boycotting us this year? Probably so, yeah. Nobody boycotting us this year? Like, what the hell, dude? We need somebody to boycott us. Hold on now.
Exactly. Somebody do something.
Yeah, somebody start a controversy. We need to get boycotted. Yep. We done outdid our sales projections every year we get boycotted. Why ain't nobody boycotting Scarlet and Violet yet? Exactly. Boycott our game.
Yep. I tell anybody, like what Dark Voice said, he mentioned what I was talking to you about before we got on the show, and you look at the union contract. Now, unions are great. You know, they're voices for you. You know, if you feel like you're being done a disservice, you know, you got the means of doing so, and you know, things are not so much as unjust, if you will, when it comes down to your work environment. You know, you got somebody that's going to back you up. But I kind of put it in the same realm of you working with a business per se, like working for a company opposed to working for yourself. Some things are in place for you to be afforded those benefits. So based off of what Darth Void was saying, and then what I told you I saw on Twitter earlier, she got paid for what she put out. We talking 4 hours for 4 hours for 4 days?
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, if we talking 4 days and you talking about 4 G's, yeah. I'll take that all day.
I don't make $1,000 a day. I don't make $1,000 a day.
So I don't make $4,000 in a month. So it's one of those things to where I get where she was coming from because of the idea that, hey, I've been reprising this role and I feel as if I am Bayonetta. And I think that lends credit more to the fan base than it does her. Because I can imagine how many tours or Q&As or anything like that to where people want her to, speak to them in that way and sign autographs and
those are paid separately, by the way. That's not coming out of Platinum's budget.
Exactly. So I can imagine her getting caught up in the role and the fame and the hype that comes behind this role. I can understand that. But that's not Platinum's issue. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that you hold yourself to a value and these fans hold you to a certain value. That's between you and them fans. Like, you have to understand this is a business. When we talk about boycotting, 9 times out of 10, you typically hear the fans mention that, not necessarily the person that's complaining. So that
Yeah,
was a little weird.
yeah,
And then also, like we stated the other night, the whole "if I ain't eating, ain't nobody eating" mentality is
yeah.
kind of problematic too. So I mean, look, should everybody get paid a fair wage? Sure. Do we live in that type of world? No. Like somebody out there is getting lowballed on doing a lot of work. And I by no every piece of work is different for every person. Like I'm never going to compare my job at HR to somebody that's out on an oil rig. Like I'm just not. But then we also look at the supply and demand. If you look at the tech world right now, they're paying college students anywhere between 125 to $150,000 out the gate a year.
Because
To
they need
where
them. They need
exactly
them.
to where teachers are getting somewhere around 30K.
Yeah.
But we all understand that the importance is education first,
Mm-hmm.
but but it's supply and demand. So with this situation, you know, I see people going at Camilla and like, oh, pay your voice actors. I'm pretty sure he's not payroll. I'm pretty sure he's not the one that determines that budget or determines that payout. He's just set to, because is he the director or the producer?
He's the producer this time.
Okay.
On the first game, he was the director.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
he's producing the whole thing. So he's not directing it, in regards.
he's not even directly working on it.
Exactly.
That's another reason why I'm like, why did she go to him and not the finance team?
Well, this is the thing that I mentioned to people a lot too. What's up, Sandstorm?
No, what up?
So this is one thing that I mention to people as well too. When we look at Nintendo, we look at, like, let's say Sony, Apple, Microsoft. In this case, we look at Platinum, and then we might have a few that I'm blanking on right now. But you have faces that are tied to these companies, so that's the only person that these people know to go at. They don't know who else to really target, so they go with the first person that they see, and that tends to be the shield that is the voice for the company. You know what I'm saying? So whenever Nintendo was having issues, they went straight for Reggie. They
Even
went,
though halftime Reggie didn't know what the hell they were talking
he had
about.
nothing. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the same thing when you talk about Microsoft, and you do the same thing with Sony. Like, they go for the people that they see, when in reality, we all know who the big wigs are, who the decision makers are with a lot of this stuff. So we all established last night, she went for the wrong person. You know what I mean? She handled it poorly, because this is something that you keep in-house. And as Japanese companies aside, show some tact in regards to what you're doing. I can see if y'all have been going back and forth and they say, hey, look, F you, we not dealing with you. But you did a letter to Camilla. They come back with a 4,000, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't him that came back with it. But I'm pretty sure they came back with the 4,000, and you still said no. She didn't say anything about, yo, I'm going back. She just said, oh, I was disgusted and I walked away. Okay, that's on you. You walked away. You did what you were entitled to do, and that's just how you handled it. But to come back years later and then say, "Hey, boycott this game," not like it's going to get you any money. You talking about giving it to a random charity, not like you even put one up. And yeah, it was just a mess. But I'm pretty sure with time goes along, there's going to be more that comes out, and she gonna look like Boo the Fool eventually.
Have we gotten more? Has there been more between?
The only thing that came out more was people were looking at the union rates, and based off the union rates, to where it looks like Platinum was offering her 4 hours a day for 4 days of voice work. That equates to $4,000.
Oh, so 1,000 a day, pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't make 1,000 a day, but whatever. Let's.
Yeah. So that was the main problem. Andre, what's up, man? Yeah, that was the main thing, because once again, this happens all the time where something happens, people jump on, because there's already people like I don't, and made the video now. So somebody, y'all need to start tagging some of these people and downloading their videos, because I promise you some stuff is going to change around January, February next year.
real quick before we go forward, I want to say shouts out, and I know they may not watch RGT and Player Essence for the show last night.
Yeah, they definitely held it down.
I commend them for what they said. Now, I wish it was said while Dreamcast guy was on there, but nonetheless, the point got across.
Yeah, they definitely held it down.
It's really corny to like, hey, I canceled my pre-order. Who cares? Like, just who cares?
Oh well, I know a couple people who care because they're trying to get the Masquerade edition, so they was hoping some people.
Right.
I know a couple.
Yeah, cancel that.
I know a couple people was like, "Hey, y'all need to cancel this so I can get it. Y'all need to cancel this. I'm with y'all. I stand with y'all.
Yeah.
Solidarity, my brother."
What all comes with that?
Wilton said, "Dreamcast cry."
Oh man, that's messed up. It's the 100 and something page art book. The God dang it, let me pull mine up. Andre, how you doing, man? What's your thoughts on this while I find this?
Honestly, I'm a little bit lost because I'm like, what? Okay. First of all, my last month has been very busy, so I haven't been able to do half the stuff I want to get done. And I have been off of. I've basically been off of gaming for a good while now.
Okay.
I need a little bit of a catch up as to why we try and boycott Bayonetta 3.
No, you don't.
It's gonna be stupid when we say it. You're gonna be like, the hell? That's what you're gonna say.
So, main voice actor came out, said that she was pretty much lowballed. She didn't even take the deal, and because she didn't take the deal and how she was lowballed, she feels like she is the official original Bayonetta. So should nobody mess with the game, including the whole merchandise and signing with the new girl. What's her name? Jennifer
Hale.
Jennifer Hale.
And boycott the game.
The game, yeah.
Give me one moment to process this.
Okay, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? This is what's in the Masquerade edition. It's the art book. They don't say how many pages. I can't find the page thing on it. You get the art covers, the alternate art covers for all three games. You get a steel case if you're in Europe. Y'all lucky mother. And you get and that's pretty much it.
So
okay,
Brand Smith, real quick, because he said he heard that that Kamiya offered Jennifer Taylor 15,000. So I know you were in the video yesterday when we were live streaming, but you didn't actually hear the conversation that we had behind scenes afterwards. Jennifer Taylor has Jennifer Hale. Yeah. She has she's got a list. She's got a repertoire. Like it's huge. So if he offered her 15,000, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised, but that still doesn't really change the fact. Like she had a lot. What was it? Mass Effect. She had Mass Effect.
She got
Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
She has 6 things coming out this year. She has 6 things coming out this year, and 4 on next year already. So
the level of what they should be paid at was not LeBron James versus Steph Curry. It wasn't that. So
it was basically LeBron James versus Division III person that only got to the league because somebody broke their leg.
You know what I'm saying? Skip to my Lou came back and he wanted. He wanted Steph Curry money. You know, like it ain't the same.
Don't do my man Skip like that.
I mean, props to him.
I get what you're saying.
So and I did hear this. Like Dark Angel posted this. I did hear that she wasn't unionized. So I'm like, okay, so you ain't. If you're trying to represent yourself, that's another reason why you need better negotiating skills.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Kamiya deleted his Twitter, but I think that's the best thing for him to do right now. You're having a game that you got to get out. Yep. You don't have time to deal with this. Yep. He's not the one who's supposed to be dealing with this. Yep. He's not. Now, once again, before anybody say, well, he should have answered. No, he shouldn't have.
He's not. No. He's not the CEO of Platinum.
He's not. Once again, like when you go back and listen to what she's saying, there's some stuff that doesn't make sense. Like, okay, you didn't know to go to anybody in finance.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this seems very young. mindset type ordeal. Like
Yeah.
you do this when you're first brand new into the workforce,
Yeah.
not
Or
when
lack
you're
of experience.
yeah.
I think it's lack of experience. Like she probably older than us. But
She's
she is older
53.
than us. Yeah.
She's actually is older than us. She's
But
53.
but it's like you didn't get hit with the experiences, the hard knocks like everybody else. So when your hard knock came, like
She
you
wasn't ready for it.
no, not at all.
So I mean, look, and like we said, Jennifer Hale, I think yes, she is in the union, and on top of that, like when you looking at all the stuff she got, like what you supposed to say? That's like me, like somebody coming into my field, and the only thing they did was like 2 months of help desk support, and thinking you're supposed to get paid $150,000 a year. It don't work like that in the IT field,
and especially like to even bring it to content creation. That's just like, let's say if I get lucky enough and let's say I do a partnership deal where Nintendo lets me show something off, but then they come with a certain number that I'm not fond of, but then they go get MKBHD. Y'all know how big Buddy is. Like I can't compete with that.
Or
like that,
PewDiePie or
right.
Angry
like
Joe.
you can't compete with that.
Yeah.
Oh, Brand Smith said he meant the original girl for it. So yeah. So Taylor, they offered Taylor 15. Kamiya came back and offered her 15. So where did she get the 4 from? I wonder if 4 was the original one. I mean, I guess we got to figure out the facts at that point, but still 4 to 15 is a huge difference. And if you still wasn't accepting 15 and you felt complacent and you were like, or not complacent, but you were feeling yourself and you were like 30 and they were like, not 30. And you were like, all right, okay. But then, but that would make more if on the other side, if he did come back and offer her 15, that would make more sense to why her story was like, I talked to Kamiya directly and he offered me 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, he didn't. You know,
that's probably why he said what he said. Like, yo, there's some non-truths in this situation.
And people got mad when he said that, but I'm like, what y'all want him to say? You ain't hearing his side, and you ain't even asking his side. You're trying to cuss him out off the rip. That's what some people are trying to do. So,
okay. So after processing that stupidity, being the voice actress, the original voice actress, she thinks that she has some claim to fame for the actual intellectual property.
Right.
So I guess we should just say that Charles Martinet owns Mario.
Correct.
That's what I'm
standard.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not how that works. Like
Sean Connery is James Bond. Sean Connery is James Bond. Nobody else.
Yeah.
No, nobody else. But no, dear sweet child, when you get on a job, you don't own the property that you do the job for. Even if you become known as the character, Ryan Reynolds doesn't own Deadpool, even though he's known as Deadpool. He doesn't own it. It's not his. No matter how enthusiastic he is about it, it's not his.
Like Sam Jackson does not own Nick Fury.
No, he doesn't. And he doesn't make him do.
No.
Yeah. They can use his face as how they please.
So she got mad because she got lowballed as an unknown. That's what it comes down to?
Pretty much.
She got lowballed as an unknown. And from what I just heard you guys say, she ended up with another offer that she decided to decline.
Yeah.
That wasn't her at that point. If you decline a secondary offer that was substantially better than the first offer, that's on you.
Yep.
Find yourself in the corner all you want, but it's on you.
Yep.
Nobody else.
And she took jabs at the new voice actress.
Right.
You know, I guess this is the part that we kind of declined to tell you, Andre, is that she was the only one replaced. The German actress, Japanese, all the other versions. Only one.
She was replaced because she was the only one that decided that she was worth more than everybody else.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep.
She's got to do the versions for England and America. You know what I'm saying? So that's double the work.
No, it is not.
I mean, if that's the case,
All right,
if that's
hey,
the
the
case,
Blue Chronicles whole crew should be
I know.
getting
Yeah, I know.
paid.
The entire crew.
They need to be getting, I mean, look, if she gonna bitch about that, they need to get paid double, triple, quadruple. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because your shit is used in multiple regions does not mean you do more work.
No,
It
absolutely
really
not.
doesn't. It really doesn't. You do it one time, and that's I mean, that's you do the voice, and that's it.
I deserve more because 2 audiences hear me. Fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what any company would say.
Yeah.
So, hold on. What's she gonna say for the players that play in America, but they put on the Japanese dub? What fucking difference does it make?
Yeah,
Right.
It don't make a difference.
Or does she forget video games have that ability now?
Yeah, but that's the other thing too. I'm like, dude, and that was another main thing of mine with this when this whole firestorm blew out of control. I'm like, y'all do realize you're only hearing one side of this, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Only one side.
And you don't know. Look, like I said, I listened to all 3 videos that she put out. I'm like, something ain't adding up.
Nah, it's too many
Something
holes.
just ain't adding up. I'm
There's
like,
too many
we're
holes.
not getting the whole thing, and I'm just like, this stuff ain't adding up. And people already they heard her and already, you are right. We are with you, sis. Like, no, we not. No, we not.
You know why though? People ran to her side because we all know Kami is an internet troll.
Yeah.
We know.
He a real life troll too. So him and Sakurai are like trolls that do that jump for fun.
Yeah, but it was easy to paint him as the bad guy when so many people dislike him already because he's so cold. So it's easy to paint him as the bad guy or to say that she spoke directly with him, which I doubt she did.
You know why? You know why it's really bad? I just realized after listening to the talk, and this was just from one side, but so I don't know if it's the whole group, but knowing how it is, when I was listening to the talk, it sounded like the LGBTQ was like real heavy on supporting her, and and it must be like we love Bayo because she's all the way out there and she's herself and all this other stuff, and so like
voice actress automatically right.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, but they got it. That's
the
problem with everybody just jumping behind somebody without getting full details. And being sensationalized immediately. Like some people need to stop and sit down and think, like, does this story make any sense? This is an American voice actress talking to Kamiya. Think about that.
Yep.
How often have you heard Kamiya speak in English?
She had a translator. Sorry, she had a translator translate.
Yeah.
And he translated back about how much he loved her and she was important to the group and blah 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 blah. And then she said that he said that he could do the 4,000.
Yeah, that doesn't make any damn sense.
Nah.
One, you wouldn't be setting up a contract like that any damn
Not
way.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
And these things are contracted, by the way, people. These are contracts. These ain't like word of mouth. This is on paper.
Yeah, no. One, she would be getting her documentation from Platinum Legal. She wouldn't be getting it from.
Thank you. Because it's not like he gonna come back. Hey, look, we can do another 4 on you. Like, no, that's not how that's going to work.
He doesn't own it.
So Kami cheetah hoe?
He might be the man. You know what I'm saying? He might be the man, but like,
we saying Kami was the pimp cheetah hoe and she was asking for more money.
Right.
Reminds me of a Boondocks episode with a pimp named back now.
It's just and I know people probably hear that and be like, "Why are you being so damn blunt?" Because it's fucking dumb.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
like it's crazy because
stupid shit like this, you need to hit it with as blunt of an object as you can to find out whether or not it's actually gonna make any sense, and it don't.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that should have really caught everybody was the fact that she went after Jennifer Hale, who has nothing to do with this.
Immediately after that.
Like that should have been like, oh, hold on, why are you going after her?
You know,
No,
it's a situation where they say, what's that line? I don't mean to be rude, but
Yeah.
Right.
everything after that line is gonna be rude.
It's gonna be rude.
Yeah. So I'm
that's
like,
another thing. Like, why would she go after Jennifer Hill when Jennifer Hill had nothing to do with the situation? She's a
Nothing.
whole totally different entity.
and Jennifer Hale probably like, okay, what else I got to do this week? Oh, I'm doing this week. Okay, good. Because next week I got to go do this one. So she probably don't even care. She's like, I don't give a damn. I got like 10 other shows right now,
Right.
plus 3 other video games.
You know, one thing I just thought about was I got a feeling that she felt like she had so much, clout or hold on that voice that she felt, hey, I'm going to say this to Camille, and then they're gonna budge because they need me. I'm Bayonetta.
Yeah.
And then when they went and got somebody else, like, oh shit, like they went and got somebody else.
You are not Sam Jackson. You are not
situation.
You are
He need me.
Right.
No, they don't.
That's when you start realizing, like, damn, I'm not.
You are replaceable.
I thought I was. Like, shit.
You are not Beyonce. You are not Sam Jackson. You are replaceable.
You guys just walking in like, oh, they ain't no way they're gonna replace me next week. God damn, and they got somebody with a thicker resume to me too. Right. Hell no.
Hey, and we kind of chat room. We kind of figured out because we were doing. I think we sat around for at least another hour talking.
Yeah.
We didn't found out that Jennifer, is it Taylor? Yeah,
Helena Taylor.
Helena Taylor. Or okay, Jennifer Hale. Jennifer Hale. Okay, so we found out that Jennifer Hale was the voice of Samus. So Platinum was like, "Yo, okay, Taylor isn't buying this, so like we may have to push back." And Nintendo's like, you know what? Hold on.
This is like we've been petty all this year. So petty again.
Hey, you busy? Real quick. Let's set something out. Hey, read this script real quick. Let's hear that.
Hold on. Nintendo's like, hold on. She said what? Nah, let's go call a girl Jennifer. She got this.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna call you right. Let me put you on hold. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. All right. Yep, we got somebody for you. Don't even worry. She's about to come down to the studio right now.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, look. And on top of that, look, we even pay half of it for you, bro.
Right.
Just to be extremely petty. You gotta pay the whole thing.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. At that part, that's where I feel for it, because I know there's plenty of people that have gone through that in relationships and at jobs. Like, they ain't gonna replace me. All right.
Okay.
Real quick.
All right.
Real quick.
All right, bro.
Nintendo said, yo, we're gonna front half the money because we boys. That's how we do
hostage.
I mean, and I said this yesterday after we got out the podcast. I'm like, dude, as petty as Nintendo's been this year, I would not be surprised if after the Bayonetta releases, they do an entire direct with Jennifer Hale
sitting in a chair,
introducing it.
They come, look, and they take the camera, right, and they come up from the back, and it says Bayonetta on the back of the chair, and they rotate around in the chair. You know what I'm saying? Even worse.
Look, Nintendo's been petty. Nintendo has been petty, and they're like, you know what? We on our petty shit this time. Oh, you gonna say what the who? All right. You gonna try to hurt Sam? All right.
They're gonna have her narrate the whole direct too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is about to be tough for her.
Yeah.
This is about to be tough for her. You about to see your ex-boyfriend with his new girl.
Oh man,
flying all on social media, bro. It's
is she Brazilian and she a supermodel?
Hi, I'm Jennifer Hale, voice actress of Bayonetta.
Ooh, boy.
What's up, Shadow?
What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing?
Good,
Doing
brother.
all right, man. Doing all right. You doing good tonight, man? Your boys won, and they didn't get cheated.
Man, it's always bittersweet here because my Braves didn't do what they needed to do, but it is what it is. You can only have so many championships, right? So
Right.
You gotta let everybody else get a chance.
So real quick, Shadow, before we go to our next topic, your quick thoughts on Bayonetta 3 and how many pre-orders that you went on and did now. How many you up to? You up to 3? You and Baron Black going back and forth, right? See
I know, right?
I was hoping Baron was gonna loan me one of them 3 that he bought. But
Baron petty, man.
Just super petty. No, but first things first. Roll Tide.
Oh my God!
I enjoyed that.
That was so uncalled for. So uncalled for.
I enjoyed that. Also, I enjoyed Tom Brady looking really, really funny on the sidelines with a baseball cap. I enjoyed all of these things. This was just a great weekend, except for the Braves losing. Other than that, that was great. And Helena Taylor being interesting. Yeah, man. I don't know. Y'all saw that it's pretty easy to look up how much these people make, right?
Very easy.
It takes less than 10 minutes to get a good amount of research done.
So if they offered you $4,000, that means you weren't doing no more than 10 hours worth of audio. And you're talking about 10 hours of audio for an entire year. I don't know how to. There has to be some type of way where you can see that, hey, yes, there's a workers' rights movement happening right now.
Yeah.
And it is definitely happening for people that are being worked literally to an inch of their life for a lot of manual labor. And they have a right to try to work for it or whatever. But that's a completely different type of social economic conversation. But we're talking about voice acting. And voice acting is already kind of like shit on even in the movie industry.
Right.
So and I don't mean an animated movie. I'm talking about you're the narrator and they never show your face the entire movie. You ain't getting paid like that.
No.
And for the people that continue to get gigs and stay on top of it, like Jennifer Hill is just I haven't seen a bad performance from her. So
she stay working.
Stay working animation. Yeah, she stay working. So she obviously loves what she does. Between her and Cree Summer, I don't know, anybody working harder out there doing voice VO as far as the feminine side of the occupation goes. So I don't know how can you be. I don't know how you can make a demand with a Japanese company that doesn't really have a big budget like that.
Correct.
I think the pitch should have been with Nintendo and not with Platinum themselves. And then we're talking about Sega as well. That pitch should be with Sega and Nintendo if you wanted a lot of money, I guess. And that probably has to be a multi-year deal at that point, not something that you could just iron out for one game and then go from there. It has to be over the life of this character being a property with us. Are you going to be part of it, instead of on a per project type thing? And then we will give you this amount of money, probably all at one time, and then go from there. So what you do with that cash is up to you.
Correct.
But here's the thing, this ain't Legend of Zelda. Bayonetta ain't no Legend of Zelda.
No.
You ain't going to get one.
No.
You ain't going to get one like that because we don't even know if they're going to do another one.
Right.
It's one of those things where it's just a Nintendo brand at this point, and a Sega property at this point. And it is beneficial for them to have for other reasons other than voice acting. So, Sega at any point in time could just say, you know what, we're going to sell a whole bunch of Bayonetta characters, like dolls or whatever. And they could do that without Nintendo. And, Nintendo could just say, you know what, we want to publish a whole bunch of Bayonetta games with Sega without Platinum. They could do that if they wanted to.
Yep.
Platinum has no claim on Bayonetta. So it's just one of those situations where you're not directly tied to it. So what are you going to do? And I don't know what she was thinking with regards to, you don't have. We saw the whole situation with David Hayter, right? Like, it's not something that you can't just say, you know what, I've been doing this for so long, y'all should just go ahead. It's not.
Yeah, we saw it with T.C. Carson.
Yeah,
in God of War.
Yep.
They didn't bring him back.
Yep.
And he did what, 5? Because he did do the portable games.
Yeah, he did.
Because he did a little bit of the voice for the portable games. So he did 5.
And so, like, somebody mentioned something about unionization in the chat, but like, so one of the few standards that gaming has is a union for developers and publishing houses, right?
Right.
That doesn't include VO. So it's literally for programming and on the development side and stuff like that. Maybe sound guys are in there. I'm not even sure. That'll be a Tommy Tallarico question more than anything else. I think that's contracted on a case by case basis too.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like what with the voice acting. It's a contract thing because every game don't have voice acting in it.
Correct.
Yep. So that's just one of those things, man. I don't, what do you do? Because it's not a property you're creating yourself.
Correct.
They're just doing a per project type situation, and yeah, I liked her performances in the other two games. So I don't, whatever. There's no downing or anything like that. No. I'm just like, I just don't like. You got to come to grips with reality, and this is a company, and they're trying to make money, and Platinum isn't. They're not balling. I don't know what else you want.
This ain't like it ain't like they sitting on like 15 point. How much was it? Shadow $15.7 billion in cash.
Yeah.
It's not like they're sitting on that.
They're not doing that. They're not Nintendo. They're not Microsoft. Yeah. And even in that case, like
Microsoft wouldn't have did that either.
They really wouldn't.
Even in the David Hayter case, like, dude, you do work other places. Like, it's not like that's your last check. Like, why
to her it was apparently.
I'm about to say.
I'm like, so you're not doing animation anywhere. You're not doing any movies anywhere. Like, Jennifer Hale was a voice in like a live action movie. I heard like a year ago. Like, you got to get paid. Go get work.
Yeah, go look at Jennifer Hale's IMDb page, people. I'm telling you, you're gonna be sitting there like, what the
everywhere.
Heck? Yeah. So like she's staying busy. So look, in the words of the great anime thespian Vegeta, would you like me to tell you where you miscalculated? So
with the smirk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean there's that, man.
But Twitter is blowing up left and right, man. You got people that are like on her side trying to do the boycott thing.
Yeah.
People that's just like completely calling her out her name and all that. Like,
it ain't that serious. It ain't that serious.
Can I call it now? Yeah. This is going to be the best-selling version of Bayonetta.
It's already jumped up in sales.
Yeah.
Pre-order.
Trust me, people been tracking Amazon. Like it's gone up.
And look, people, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, there's gonna be some people that's probably gonna be like me that be trying to convince people to boycott so I can get their version.
You know what's funny? I had this thought late last night too. Was like, I'm never a well, that's a lie. I'm always a conspiracy.
I'm about to say that's me all day.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, what if all of this was intentional? What if she was actually in the game in the end? And at the very end, she was actually
this is not WWE. This is not WWE.
Nah, I wouldn't say go that all along.
She is not a heel. This is not WWE. This is not.
But it would be absolutely hilarious to all the people who really supported trying to boycott the whole thing, and they were really just doing it to get the extra sales in the first place.
Like they slid her a check on the slide and said, "Hey, we're going with this person anyway, but here's a check for you to do this thing."
Yeah.
Right before. Let's just create some controversy. Go like the whole Playboy thing they did with Bayonetta 2.
Which wasn't really to be fair in that whole situation. It was not. Nobody knew who Pamela Horton was. They had her at the New York store for the midnight release, just taking pictures. And when somebody realized, because they told on themselves basically that she was in Playboy, because they so basically you told on yourself because nobody else knew. Nobody else knew until that individual did, because they were trying to say, "Oh, they bring this around kids. She's so sexualized, all this," and I'm like, it's an M-rated game, and on top y'all act like she was out there butt naked in the Nintendo store. She was not. She was basically cosplaying.
But butt naked, and it's on the Nintendo platform. I'm like DMX Triple X, like legit.
No more heroes. No.
I was just gonna say
no more heroes. No more heroes. The first 5 seconds of No More Heroes.
Yeah.
That line.
Nintendo doesn't have any mature games.
Yeah, they don't. They're kidding.
I don't. Is there any? I can't think of a game. I don't even think in Manhunt somebody says I want to screw my sister-in-law. I don't think that even happens in Manhunt. And Manhunt is pretty bad.
You cannot get mad at Travis Touchdown. Travis Touchdown had a reason. He was trying to be the best assassin for.
Look, if it's not blood, it's okay. Apparently, if it's not blood, it's okay.
Yeah. And if this is Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, then it really don't matter.
Everybody don't care at that point. Oh, that's how it was back then.
I try to tell people all the time.
It's not okay.
I try to tell people all the time how that history went. Before there was an ESRB, the individual platform holders had to rate those games and censor them.
Yeah.
As soon as ESRB showed up and they're like, "This is an M-rated game," Nintendo's like, "Okay, cool, boom.
Yep.
Here's Mortal Kombat 2 with everything on it. Go."
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
now we're not responsible, but yeah.
Like y'all, we ain't in y'all house, y'all.
Right.
Y'all parents will handle this, not us.
Yep.
All right, so we got to get to this one. I think we spent enough time on how good Bayonetta 3 is going to do on October 28th. So
very good.
So, all right, so Gotham Knights.
Oh god!
All right, so
fill me in on this because I haven't been paying any attention. I'm seeing people spaz about it. Like, what's going on?
So number one, they're not doing the PS4 and the Xbox versions. They're strictly PS5 and Series X and S and PC versions. They're not.
Pause. They stopped doing that. Does that mean it's not possible on those platforms?
No.
It automatically does mean it's not possible. The game was so powerful that it could not run on the PS4. But anyway, go ahead.
But okay, after that, before that, they couldn't do the 4-player co-op. They had to switch down to 2.
Right.
Then they canceled those versions. Now, on the PS5, Xbox Series S and X, apparently to get the game to play properly, especially in co-op mode, they had to lock it at 30 frames a second. Here's the thing. Before anybody says anything, I want to tell y'all. I told y'all this a couple years ago. Marvel's Avengers. Square Enix sent me an email telling me that if I wanted to play on 4K, I had to lock it. I had to play it on 30 frames a second because it wasn't run right. Ubisoft sent me an email about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. If I wanted to play 4K, I had to put it on 30 frames. The only way they could play 60 frames a second is if you had it on 1080. So why are y'all mad now? And on top of this, developers, if y'all really want to piss people off, y'all next trailer y'all drop, just play R. Kelly's Gotham City in the background. And you will really get mad. You will really get mad. You really want to piss people off? Play Gotham City.
Okay. So I understand all of that. Now, also I understand too about the Marvel Avengers thing because eventually they fixed that. Now
on the PC side,
never
fixed it on the console side.
So my thing is this: like, they stripped it because I felt like it was a little too ambitious anyway. Because I was curious as to how the hell you were going to work all 4 characters. But then also too dumbing it down. The game never looked all that great anyway. I mean, it just looked like your standard Arkham.
Yeah, somebody said that the game doesn't even look as good as the Gotham Knight. Gotham Knight? Is that what
the Arkham Knight?
Arkham
Knight. Yeah, Arkham Knight.
It's Arkham Knight. That was the third one. But here's the thing: the appeal was you were going to be playing 4-player co-op with Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin. That was the original because the original reveal. It was an 8-minute trailer fandom. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like that was the appeal of it. So when you tell me you can't do 4-player, but these systems are so damn powerful, once again, I said this about Halo. I'm like, how the hell are you gonna sit up there and tell people you bringing back split screen co-op, and now all of a sudden you say you can't do it? That should have been ironed out off the rip.
That should have been your first test. But
before you say anything, that should have been the first test.
Because now I'm looking at this. So what does that mean for Suicide Squad? And then
luckily they didn't say nothing about Suicide Squad. They only released that CG trailer.
So 2 things, and I think this is probably the biggest thing. And I even put it on the Spawncast yesterday because they were talking about it and how's the system's not power, blah 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 blah. And then OJ made a good point. But the question is that if it started off as 4-player and now you have to dumb it down to 2-player, you just kind of wasted money.
Yeah.
Trying to get all that to go. And the game comes out next week?
I don't even know anymore.
I don't know. It got pushed back initially.
Okay, so even if it got pushed back, the initial money that you planned on using is already gone because now you have to change it back to 2-player and make it work. So all the expenses that you would have had made to try and doll it up and pretty it up, you use that money. That money's gone.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's October 21st. It's next week.
It's not transferred.
Wow.
Oh, and it's next week, so it's not transfer. It's definitely not transferable at this point.
So
they should have said. They should have said this. They should have said this back when they did the when they revealed that they had to come down to, because that was last year. Last year they said they couldn't do 4-player. So that's when I knew something was up. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. I'm like, that was the whole purpose. That was the whole appeal of the game.
So they must have had to tweak the whole entire. At that point, you probably already have the whole world already. You have the fighting already and all the mechanics. Now you got to just you. It's initially a 4-player game, so now you got to tweak the whole game to bring it back down to 2-player. And I can only imagine how much that costs with coding and everything. And now it's coming out next week. Like,
but I got a feeling there's gonna be bugs behind that because the game,
of course,
possibly was set up for a 4 situation, and now there's 2. It's gonna be looking for something. I don't know development, but I got a feeling this is gonna get wonky real fast.
Shadow, would you like to respond? Shadow, would you like to respond?
Hold on, I didn't respond either, but I'll let Shadow go first.
I'll just tell a story. Y'all have heard me tell this story before, right? Going back to the Wii U days. Like for a 4K frame buffer, you need around 32 megabytes per second. Megabytes in VRAM, right? Pretty much every system's got that, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's just to get started, to set everything up, to make sure you can draw 4K pixels. Pretty much every system that you see right now, to include older systems, could do that. Then you start adding stuff in your game, like little textures and stuff like that. Well, actually, your polygons and whatnot. So your vertexes, for whatever reason, vertex complexity hasn't really increased that much. There's a bunch of videos out right now where you start seeing they're showing games like God of War, stuff like that. Why is everything so flat? It's a real popular YouTube video that's out right now that shows you all the little shortcuts that even advanced models go through because they LOD themselves as you walk by them. So vertex complexity is it is I want to say about twice the throughput of probably the previous generation, but that still isn't in, how can I say this, that's not in league with how much exponentially the graphics processing has gotten. So the demand for vertexes themselves hasn't really increased that much because they're doing so much post-processing and all that to make this stuff quote unquote look better. And they're pre-rendering vertexes now on Unreal Engine 5, which is crazy. So you come up with maybe like 100 megabytes or whatever for extra vertex data. That puts you at around 132 megabytes or whatever in VRAM. We're still talking, you're like, that's 1/10 of a gig of RAM, right? That you're using for your vector setup. Then you start adding textures and all the other kind of stuff for your game. I started looking real quick on a couple of sites here to tell you a setup for VRAM for different games. One of the leakiest games out there as far as like a VRAM leakage, because like a bunch of video memory leaks happen in this game a lot, is Grand Theft Auto 5. And even that is like 4.3 gigs of VRAM, right? At this point. So you're talking, no matter what GPU you have at this point, or both of these two platforms, Series X and PS5 or whatever, right? They have more than enough RAM to support that. And that's including 60 frames per second, because at that point is going to be on the CPU to being able to fetch a display update twice as fast, so you're able to get 60 frames out of that whole thing. So you're talking around 5 gigs of VRAM for 4K 60 frames per second. These consoles have 16 gigs of RAM. What's the problem? So, and I'll tell you what the problem is. It's people. They build these games. These engines are old, and they keep stacking on top of them over and over again. Call of Duty is still using a mod of an engine before Unreal 3. and they keep building on top of it over and over again because capitalism. They have an existing engine that they need to pimp out, and they have to do it in a, how can I say this, in quick succession, so they can guarantee a product every year, so the investors can report every quarter, so they always have profits to report every quarter. If it was charity and people wanted to develop for the vision of the developer or what have you, they would start over and build a new engine every iteration. And
correct.
they don't.
Or when they need it, like because.
Or when they need it, or they think they can iterate on it later on and make more money off of it by not making changes later. Yeah. It always becomes a thing where we're building the new engine that we're going to keep the same for the next 10 years.
Right.
So
but Shadow, we have Unreal Engine 5 with rocks.
And you pre-render your rocks. Go figure. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, but that's literally what it is. It's always money because the publishers have investors that they work with, and those investors are like, I need to know how much money I'm going to make next month because I didn't put this money here to sit here and leak. No, I need double my profit like today.
Correct.
And they tell you, hey, well, these are the new things we're pimping to you so we can bring you more revenue. So it looks good. And that's literally what happens with third-party companies. And that's why they behave the way that they behave and why they move the way that they move. And nobody really wants to talk about that piece. They just want to talk about, what's possible and what's not possible. And all that shit's a lie. We see contrasts of this all the time. A guy tried to tell me on Twitter today, hey, look, if you look at the minimum specs of a game, and I'm sitting here like,
I saw that.
I just started laughing.
Witcher 3 minimum specs want 6 gigs of RAM. Switch only got 4, and the developers only use 3. How'd that game get there?
I just laughed. When I saw that, I laughed. I'm like, this dude literally has no idea.
No idea.
Games are not benchmarks. I'll say it again. I said it on Samsung's podcast last week. Games are not benchmarks. Synthetic benchmarks are benchmarks. The game just tells you that people worked on it somewhere for a real long time, and then another team shoehorned it on another platform for a short period of time. And they did wonders or whatever, translating whatever the original code was. You tell me, if you have a team that builds a game, let's say NetherRealm, right? They make Mortal Kombat 12. NetherRealm builds Mortal Kombat 12 for Series X. NetherRealm builds Mortal Kombat 12 for PS5. NetherRealm builds Mortal Kombat 12 for Nintendo Switch. They made all 3 of those different versions over a 6-year period. And then we see which one. That'll be the closest thing to a synthetic benchmark. But that never happens because there's always a port team. They pick one system they're going to use, either it's PC or PS5 or whatever. They work on that forever. And then they port the Series X or Series S or whatever. And then they port the Switch.
Right.
Yep.
So you never really get a true, accurate indicator of what that system could do.
Correct.
It doesn't run on Switch. We only go to Switch when it's 100 million sold.
100 mil.
So we come up with these games and we end up with these. We get these lofty goals. Everybody remembers Star Wars 1313. It looks great. It looks so wonderful. And then the actual game, when it comes time, hey, look, you need to show us something playable, and it doesn't. It is vaporware. It never happens. Or what have you. Or we have Aliens Colonial Marines.
Yeah, Aliens Colonial Marines was the better because like 1313 was just one of those situations where you're like, dang man, everybody talking about how good the book is, and they gonna actually do a game based off it. I'm like, no, they're not. I'm like, no, they're not.
Wow.
No, they're not, and they didn't. So
you get these games and they show you these nice trailers and stuff, and then they throw logos up, and then the first thing you think is, well, only because of the power of this system can they do.
They set you up from the beginning with that. Like,
they tell you that.
They prep you for the console before it releases. They already have you in that mindset. Only this can be pulled off because of X, Y, and Z.
Remember the SSD? Are we still talking about that? Is that still a thing?
That's still a thing. Trust me.
I would get it. I would get it if I wasn't having these conversations with people that haven't been around for at least 3 console generations.
Right.
This stuff has been cyclical since blast processing. So you're talking you're talking a 16-bit era, all this pimping of quote unquote technology. Some of it doesn't even exist. Blast processing didn't even exist. It was a programming technique somebody used for the first Sonic game.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
So like, stuff like that like gets pimped to you, and you use it forever, and that's the thing that you cling to, and it's popular opinion, and you just say it's fact. And I'm like, where you get that from? And you can't tell me. And then the only thing you can do is call me names. I'm like, bro, I'm just asking you to think.
Clearly, Shadow Fox, you're a corporate slave. Clearly.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't know so much, sir.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Andre, thoughts?
Hey, Andre on mute.
Andre had to go. Yeah, he had to go away.
Yeah. Did any of y'all see Modern Vintage Gamer's latest video?
I saw it pop up.
I think that's probably going to be his lowest viewed video.
Really?
Why you say that?
Because he told the truth.
Oh, that's one of those situations.
He talked about what his favorite development platform was, and then he talked about how easy it was to develop on Switch, and how people need to stop fanboying and going back and forth. He talked about how Xbox Series S is a really good platform.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Does it have the power of the Series X? Does it have the power?
Yes, in 1440p.
It really does, yeah.
But it doesn't have the power of the Series X.
But what's using that power?
Have the power of a 4K display, or is it 1080p? If it's 1080p, doesn't matter. Like,
correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube 60 frames a second?
Yeah,
it was.
Wasn't Tales of Symphonia on the PS3, the remastered version, 30 frames a second?
Look.
Killer Instinct 60 frames per second on Nintendo 64.
Yep. So that's why I was like, look, this whole 30 frames, 60 frames, because I got mad when people, and Shadow, you was on that podcast with me, when people kept saying, no, I can't play anything that's not 60 frames a second. I'm like, so you mean to tell me Uno,
trash.
You play Uno, and Uno is 60 frames a second. Ubisoft's Uno is 60 frames a second. You mean to tell me that?
It's unplayable. It's unplayable.
And now all of a sudden, 30, or my personal favorite, when Steam Deck dropped, I don't know why more developers won't go with 40 frames a second. That's the sweet spot. Time out. Flag on the play. You've been telling me for the last 8 months since you got a PS5 that 120 frames and 60 frames should be the standard. Now all of a sudden, if you got a Steam Deck, now all of a sudden, 40 frames a second. That's a good frame rate. That's a good frame rate. Man,
Nintendo doesn't make Steam Deck, so it's okay.
My bad, I forgot.
We can deal with sub 1080p now. It's all right. We can take 800p on the go. It's great. Everybody that complained that the Switch should have a 1080p display in your hand and you have the battery power of, I don't know, 15 minutes. Like,
yeah.
Everybody that complained about that never happened.
Yeah.
It's 800p or die.
Dude, I am of the stark thought at this point in time, like, I'm just gonna have fun because Nier Automata plays well on Switch.
That's what I heard.
It plays well on Switch, and it's in 1080. You want to know what ain't in 1080?
Yeah, the PS4 version isn't. They jump up and down between 900p and I think 720.
But when people found out that Breath of the Wild was in 900p, how dare they charge $60 for it? Nier Automata came out the same year on supposedly better hardware, and it didn't get 1080. Because nobody told you that and you couldn't find out about it, you was all right with it. But if all y'all can see this, you can see this with your eyes, like, you can tell what frame rate is just by looking at it, because you just know, because you're a mutant at Charles Xavier School, apparently.
You know how a game ends up being 60 frames per second and stays 60 frames per second, or ends up being 4K and stays 4K?
Digital Foundry tells me.
Well, if they of course, if they built the game around it from the jump, and that's exactly what they were trying to do from the beginning. And instead of trying to build one big project and they're shoehorning a lot of stuff last minute. F-Zero on GameCube was 60 frames per second because they built the whole game around it being 60 frames per second. There will be no deviations. 6 frames per second is what we got. Go. Because we were doing 480p. 480p is the standard. This console is overkill for 480p. 60 frames. Go.
Can I be honest with you? I kind of wish F-Zero on GameCube was 30 frames a second because my fingers hurt.
It's rough.
My fingers hurt.
Yeah. And F-Zero AX is no better.
Yeah.
They're just like, guess what? There are more positions now, and you're at dead last.
And you still suck.
Yeah.
Wilton said only the power of the console can help the developers realize their dreams. Man, he said games come out, half the stuff and the trailer is gone. But that's because they're still dreaming. That's why.
But it's crazy because we've been on this same narrative for how many generations?
That's what I'm saying.
This is crazy. Like after a while, you have to stop realizing that you're drinking the same Kool-Aid. Like it's not going to work. It's just not.
That and the sauce. They got the secret sauce.
Too.
The secret sauce of the consoles is what's going on.
Hey, it's the power of the PR team, man.
There's no reason for people to be my age or older and have been doing this for as long as I have, and they still fall for this. There's zero reason for that. At some point, you have to see it for what it is.
Yeah.
They're trying to sell a game to you. They have buzzwords to sell you because they're check marks. They're tick marks on the back of the box.
Right.
So I mean, it is what it is. It's a clever marketing, and I mean, just go for it.
How long did the Xbox team go with going with we got secret sauce in the back? Like, it's just wait. The secret, but the secret on this next update, the secret sauce gonna come out. They're gonna have the secret sauce, and that's gonna catch up.
All I know is on the first Stadia Connect, they came out and said we can hit 8K, and I'm like, y'all ain't even got 4K yet. They ain't no 8K. You know what?
The fact that you got on the box, like you that bold,
to
put it on the box.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But you know,
and where are they at now?
Exactly. I don't know. It's it's one.
I would say at the house, but Google's in everybody's house.
Yeah,
in everybody's house.
Well, but can we agree about this then? GDC 2005, Iwata was right.
Yeah. Diminishing returns.
Iwata was right the whole time. Iwata was right. And people love to say that he didn't know what he was doing. I'm like, man, okay.
Nintendo could have made realistic graphics, and they did in Shoshinkai 2000, and they chose to change the art style. They did that for a reason. They changed the art style of Zelda. They changed the art style of Mario. They changed all the art style of all the stuff that they showed originally. And they changed it for a reason. They're like, well, we can do more stuff over here, and we can just experiment with gameplay ideas. And it's just a lot easier if we just do this, and then we have more time to make the game fun. So, like, why
are we doing this? Like, why are we still doing this? I'm like, bro, y'all remember Star Fox Adventures on Dinosaur Planet?
Yep.
Y'all remember how Fox and how they had Peppy and all them looking?
Yep.
That was on the GameCube.
Yep.
There's nothing else I need to say.
Still good to me to this day. Krazoa Palace is, and that's a lot of polygons. Like that's pretty impressive.
The original GameCube version of Wind Waker still holds up.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not talking about the HD version they did on Wii U. I'm talking about the original GameCube version of Wind Waker. You pop that in, it still looks good.
Yep.
It's how your development team is, and a lot of people telling themselves when they keep talking about throwing power at it, because you're like, bro, you throwing power at something, and you mean to tell me you can't get split screen full player 343?
That's the
after
conversation.
You promised it how many times?
That's the conversation we had before. Like, if Nintendo had more power, okay, let's say the Switch 2 comes out tomorrow. It's got 64 gigs of RAM. It's got another pool of dedicated 8 gigs of VRAM or whatever, right? It's super fucking fast, PCIe 6 or what have you. Everything that PS5 has, it has the next version of that, and it's better. Do you really think third parties are going to jump and run to Nintendo?
We know they
really think, and even then, do you think they're going to drop what they're doing, completely drop their projects, start over game engines from scratch, and rebuild them to take advantage of all the new technology that's on just that platform?
Absolutely not. If anything, they'll maybe for once try and port over something themselves and try and copy and paste it, and then be like, it ain't working.
Look at what happens with PC versions of games. You get increased frame rate and increased resolution of some games sometimes, with caveats. Sometimes, you know what? The game just wants to close on you for no fucking reason. No fucking reason.
We're not talking about Eternal Darkness and he's working with, that was actually part of the gameplay. We're talking about an actual. Exactly.
We're talking about actual PC game. Sometimes they're dedicated PC builds and they're not ports.
Yeah.
You'll get games that legit will just like a MMO that's never been ported to a console before, and you're for whatever reason today we want to crash in the middle of why you're doing your rotation. So,
sorry if you didn't save.
Oh yeah,
and that's because of people and because of design. Like every PC isn't the same configuration,
right?
So, and there's no way that you can account for all the different types of configurations in your development environment, no matter who you are, and no matter how good your system is. There's going to be something on the brand new graphics card you just bought that reads things different than how the developer originally intended, and you just ran.
And the thing about, especially when you start talking about PC parts and stuff like video and sound cards, those things change every 6 to 8 months now.
Yes,
like so, dude. It always makes me laugh when I hear people seriously think Series X and PS5 are using the top pinnacle of. No, they're not. That stuff was out of date 2020.
I'm gonna say
while a chip shortage was on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Those systems won't be utilized to their potential.
No, they're not.
Just like Wii U wasn't.
Yeah,
they're not going to be utilized to their potential.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about this when they first dropped Shadow. That this is not a graphical plateau generation. This is an efficiency generation. That's why this idea that nothing can run on the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, that's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. That's why, like, I have much respect for Phil Spencer coming out and saying, "Look, our game's gonna be playable across our family."
Yeah.
It's
we're not even gonna lie to y'all and be like, "Oh, it's only gonna be playable on the Xbox Series." No, we ain't doing that. It's gonna be playable across our, because this is not about graphics. This is about efficiency.
It's funny that you say that, Shadow, because just going along the sides of the Wii U, just the PS5 and just never actually showing that potential. You gonna get the same it's the same side, or it's the opposite side of the same coin that Nintendo had to deal with during that time, because they actually had to show the prowess of what the Switch could do by them, or the Wii U could do by themselves.
Yep.
As much as they possibly could. The flip side of that is the PS5 and the Series X, because when the PS6 comes out and whatever happens after that, if they decide to do something, Sony's gonna let it go. Sony, like, nah, we're not doing what happened with the PS4 again. Like, that's not gonna happen. Y'all not gonna have 3 years on us getting PS4 games still. That's not no. You buy a new system, and that's what the way it's gonna be.
I think Sony did that to themselves, because every system they've had, they've always touted that, our systems last 10 or
because PS2 has such a long life.
Yeah, it was PS2, PS3. They've all been 10. Now, here's the thing they would do that I know most people didn't notice. Right when the new system come out, it'd be in very small print available on, you know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want you picking up it for PS2. They want you picking up PS3. Right. Technically, they had a version for it, but nah, you pick it up on this. That's why I'm like, Sony's always been doing that. But now that Sony, and I've said Sony's biggest mistake was trying to keep up with Microsoft. They don't have Microsoft money.
And not even close.
And so them trying to keep up with them, like you see Jim Ryan going around the world trying to convince other countries to block the sale of Activision. I'm like, if you block the sale of Activision, bruh, you're not gonna get in. Nobody's getting Call of Duty, because that means all them lawsuits are gonna go forward.
Yeah,
so you're not gonna get nothing.
My man,
the only thing about that is like you're crying for nothing, because
for no reason.
Microsoft doesn't even care like that. They want money. So they're not doing this to quote unquote kick PlayStation out.
Nah,
they're gonna put Call of Duty in more places.
Yeah. Because the thing is, if you think Microsoft's gonna do that, why in the world did they let Banjo-Kazooie and Smash? Why in the world did they let Banjo-Kazooie go back to the Switch Online?
And what's his name? Steve.
And Steve. Why are they letting Minecraft everywhere? Microsoft don't give a damn about nothing but money.
Yes.
Which is something that you should be doing, but you just trying to mess it up for everybody.
Yeah, because we ain't gonna act like you didn't keep Street Fighter 5 to yourselves.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
Or the entire PS2 and PS3 generation, like just locking down certain studios and saying we want to have all of Japan. Like we can't. Those deals have come to light, and it's pretty obvious that's what they were doing. So because we were always wondering, like,
why?
Because developers would be like, they'll be like, "Hey, we'll go where the money is or whatever," and I'm like, the 360 is selling pretty good. The Wii is selling pretty good.
Like, why
are these games only coming out on PlayStation?
Right.
Oh, my personal favorite, Soul Calibur 2 outsells everybody. The GameCube version does.
Yep.
You don't see another Soul Calibur tool that was Legends.
That
wasn't really a Soul Calibur.
They wouldn't even re-release the Xbox Live Arcade, like, because every version had their own, like, the PS2 online store had their version, Xbox Live Arcade had their version.
They won't even put
they wouldn't even put it on. They wouldn't put it on Wii. They wouldn't put it on Wii U. Like, what are we doing? I'm
surprised they won't go back and put it on Switch, because you think they would have went back and put it on Switch since Switch is popular, but they won't do that.
Right.
So I'm like, that's why I be looking at Bandai Namco like, because I'm like, bruh, like, you can't say you don't know how to work on Nintendo consoles. Y'all help them with other stuff, so you can't say you don't have a dev kit.
I think that deal was for Japan since Soul Calibur 3. I believe that's what it is, because that's the only reason why Microsoft's able to get in.
Yeah, it's so weird because Soul Calibur 3 was only on PS2, wasn't it?
Even though like the GameCube version of
2 was the best selling version.
Didn't it sell out like 2-3 million more than the other two versions?
I think it sold 2 million, I believe. I think
more than the other two, though. I think.
Yes, it was the highest.
It wasn't close. It was not close. Like, it just wasn't even close.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So, quick question: did y'all get a chance to watch the Sonic Frontiers combat trailer?
I did not, but I've already.
I pre-ordered it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When they announced like, okay, Sonic Frontiers, I'm like, who cares? Because Sonic, they're gonna find a way to drop the bag. But the more they keep releasing, always that's Sonic in general. But the more I look into this game, I'm like, I might get this. And then even with the Switch, just to make sure that Sega didn't skimp, it still looks good.
Yeah,
like it looks great.
Yeah.
So I mean, as long as everything else runs smoothly, as far as like the means of the game, because to me, I get it. You don't want to share the story. It still looks confusing as hell. But I was like, him being in this big open world throwing hands. I'm like, all right. But yeah, I'm loving everything that they're showing. It's a night and day difference from when they first showed the game versus what we're seeing now. Like, I'm like, this was not on my list to pick up. It's now on my list to pick up for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm looking at it right now, so
I'm just saying, like, dude, the stuff they showed, like, when I saw the combat, I'm like, dude, I got to get my hands on this.
Yeah,
it's kind of like what they did when I saw that trailer for Odyssey. When they showed the Odyssey trailer, you started seeing the HD 8-bit stuff. I'm like, there ain't no way in the world I'm not picking this up.
Yeah,
ain't no way.
So this is crazy. I don't know what Sega was doing. I don't know who they listened to, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, it looks a lot more intuitive than the last time they showed it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, this looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I went on and I pre-ordered that one. So I'm gonna need everybody to boycott Sonic so that sales can get up too. I need everybody to boycott.
I see Exodia. I see you. My bad. Yeah, I know there's some Sonic fans out there. Don't get me wrong. I used to be the chili dog eating blue blood fan.
White for the win.
Don't get me wrong. It's just for after Dreamcast, Sonic just
it'd be up and down. It'd be up and down. So because me personally, like, my favorite game is still Sonic Adventure 2. That's still my favorite game in the whole Sonic series. But I found myself liking the adventure stuff more than the 2D stuff. Don't get me wrong, I like Colors. Colors to me was fun. That was a whole lot of fun. And I love Lost World. That's why I thought, I'm like, when they did Lost World, I'm like, dude, this is good. They need to keep doing this and the storybook stuff. But storybook stuff is like a niche thing. But the storybook stuff was actually cool.
Yeah, that was a thing because Wii U didn't take off. So
yeah.
Wait a minute, time out.
Why didn't that come back? Now that I think about it, everything else got a re-release for the most part.
Well, Sonic Lost World was originally a Wii U project, and I think because it wasn't received well, they
just said
okay.
Yeah, because like the storybook stuff was like it would use what was the name of that engine? Wildfire.
The Wildfire engine on Wii.
They made an engine for it. So, and I think Lost World used some of that, but not all of it. So
yeah,
gotcha.
So this man used a move called Sonic Boom, right?
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. Why is this very indicative of Vegeta's dirty fireworks? Like I wanted him to be like,
if he doesn't, that'd be a little disappointing. I'm gonna be honest.
What would be funny? You know what would be funny if like during when he does that, they play Vegeta's Hell's Bells soundtrack. You know the Falcon soundtrack, like they just play Hell's Bells and
they just need to team up with Capcom and just have Gal's voice.
They have Gal's voice.
Yep.
they teaming up with Capcom for this game too with the costume.
It's a free DLC of the Monster Hunter. I'm like, y'all should have a free DLC of Gal's hair.
Yep. Sonic Comb and squeals at the end.
Yeah, they just stick up.
Is this a new Super Sonic? Like, no. Is this
no.
Don't underestimate me.
Sonic goes Super Beer's gonna show up. Beers and Wheat's gonna show up.
This is pretty good.
I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, it made it that the way they do the combat in here, I'm like, this is gonna make me want to get, especially utilizing the speed and saying, okay, look, there's certain stuff you're not gonna be able to go full speed at because you're gonna have to actually think about what you got to do.
Yep.
I like that. Because now you're giving me a reason to slow down. The problem with the other games, especially the 2D games, was you're supposed to be fast, but they always kept putting stuff in the way where you had to stop.
Exactly.
Yeah. So give
me let's throw that Guardian jump from Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Anything that reminds me of that game, I'll take it.
Oh, dude, Sonic soundtracks are always gonna be fire.
Always.
They're always gonna be fine. You don't even have to make a workout playlist off. You just play the soundtrack. That's your workout playlist.
Time out. What's your favorite? I guess to real quickly ask, what is your favorite Sonic soundtrack?
Mine is 3.
3?
Can I be real with y'all?
I'm gonna cheat and just say Super Smash Bros.
That's real cheating.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's a 3-way tie for me.
Dang.
3-way tie for me. And you want to know why? Because one of these games I'm finna say, y'all gonna hate me for saying this. I'm sorry, but the soundtrack is fire. Right. It's 3, Sonic Adventure 2, and Forces. Forces has a banging soundtrack. Forces soundtrack is banging.
Replace Forces with CD, and that's me.
Oh, Sonic
CD. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a 3-way tie.
I'm trying to remember Forces because I turned that off so damn fast. Oh, let me see.
Forces to me got better the more I played it. So I was actually having fun with it.
The fact that I was playing that game and even on like canned parts where I'm grinding and getting into an area, I was flying over stuff and dying. I'm like, how is this possible? Like, you're going too fast for your own good for you to just and this is something that you're making me do. So it's not like I'm doing it on my own.
Brand, I like the Sonic Heroes soundtrack.
Sonic Heroes is good.
I like the Sonic Heroes soundtrack. It's not in my it's a 3-way tie for me for the best.
Like that main theme song, that and the main theme song for Secret Rings as well. For whatever, super catchy, super catchy.
Like the Black Knight had some good. Like Sonic and the Black Knight had some good tracks on it. Now it has some real good tracks on it.
Legit bangers.
I respected myself enough not to play that game.
So for me, it's Sonic 3D Blast, the Saturn version, not the Genesis version. And Sonic R, I think.
Really?
I'm gonna go wild.
Sonic Mania doesn't count. That's cheap.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I mean, if you're talking about gameplay though, Sonic Mania is that. That's that.
That's that boy right there. That's that boy right there. All right, so okay, so this one way too early game of the year contenders. and who we think actually has a legit shot. Like even on
these
Jeff
two
Keighley's
questions
show,
are separate. They got to be separate.
Even on Jeff Keighley's show, who we actually has a legit
On Jeff
shot.
Keighley's show, we know it ain't Xenoblade. They crossed out already.
No, that's definitely not Xeno.
And now it's not Bayonetta.
And it's not Bayonetta. Yeah, because they're gonna go politically correct with that.
Oh, Bayonetta might not even get doggone
nominated
for nothing.
Yeah.
Unless the fans do it.
Yeah.
Unless the fans do it.
Nintendo will have to physically go there with a copy and hold it up.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll mention it. Maybe.
And Nintendo, and we all know how Nintendo probably ain't gonna show up.
Mm-hmm.
They may throw a commercial out. Hey,
I mean, I think they're gonna throw that second.
But they're not gonna be
Mario
there.
trailer. I think they're gonna throw that second Mario trailer there, but they ain't finna that Mario movie trailer there, but they ain't finna show up now.
I'm trying to think, like, what the hell released this year? Because I'm
so
blank.
Hold on,
we just forgot.
Hold on,
we got Turtle.
I got a list. I got a list of stuff. So give me a second. So
Arceus
started the year,
but they're never gonna put that up for Game of the Year.
So we got
it's too early in the year because we know how this go. It's too early in the year.
I'm gonna go and just go out of my way and do this one. Just the big ones: Pokemon Arceus.
Okay.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Okay.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Okay.
Where's the other one? Shredder's Revenge.
Okay.
We know God of War's coming. God of War's coming, so that's gonna be on there.
Oh, that for Keighley, that's Game of the Year then.
Yeah. We got Splatoon 3.
That's my Game of the Year.
Yeah. Let me go over here. We got Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring.
I forgot about that. Yeah, they gonna ride that. They gonna hump that to sleep.
But Elden Ring started the year as well.
Yeah, Elden Ring just started.
But you know how people get with that.
Elden Ring ain't.
It got real quiet though. Like after everybody, this is the best ever, 10 out of 10. I don't talk about Elden Ring no more.
All you gotta do is remind them. Hey, remember Elden Ring was at the beginning? Oh yeah, Elden Ring.
And Wilton is actually right. This is gonna win Game of the Year.
Oh yeah, clearly.
Is it re-releasing for the PS5?
Yes, that's why it's going to win.
That's why
it's going to win. Death Stranding did get the PS5 re-release earlier this year, so yeah. On Keighley's show, that's going to win.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got to satisfy Boo. You got to.
Yeah.
You can't do that because you're gonna mess up your home.
Yeah,
I don't blame him.
So to be fair,
such an awkward relationship.
Really so awkward. But I'm kind of sad, man, because our good buddy Joseph ain't gonna be there this year, man.
I mean, technically he could if they really wanted to try that. Isn't It Takes Two? It Takes Two is on here now, so.
I mean, but I'm just saying he ain't gonna. You know, good well he ain't gonna.
That was
last
year's game. Yeah, that was last year's game. You can't be on here.
Well, I mean, it came out for the Switch this year, so I mean,
that's what I'm saying. But you know, it's different. It's different between that and having Death Stranding. It's different though. It's not the same thing.
I'm telling y'all what's gonna win Game of the Year.
What's that?
No, Helena Taylor gonna come on stage. She's gonna accept the award.
The Game of the Year is this woman not having any voice.
All right.
Her. She's gonna win Game of the Year.
All right, because if they pull that stunt,
she finessed all the social media. So
if she doesn't get Game of the Year, she's definitely getting voice actress.
Most innovative Twitter game.
Yeah,
voice actress of the decade. Like, all right, that's what we're going with.
As a matter of fact, here's another $500,000 on top of this. We got this together for you.
Yep,
we love you.
He's gonna be like, go talk to Kojima.
Yeah, go give him a hug. There he is, right there. Stand up, stand up.
I'm giving you another award just for being my friend. But yeah, I think, to be honest, it's probably going to wind up being between Elden Ring and God of War. I don't know why, but I think it's going to wind up being between them. I think like Bayonetta 3 is probably going to get in there for action because there ain't enough action stuff for him to ignore. He can't ignore it. He can't ignore it. I
think Switch Sports needs to be mentioned though. I think they need to be an honorable.
It's not going to
be on family.
Family.
Anywhere.
Well, or sports games.
The family's going to have 18 Nintendo games in it. So.
That's true. I think that because they usually do 4 games, right? 4 per
4 games.
Category. Yeah. Okay, so
usually sometimes it's 5 and 6.
4 to 5,
depending on who they like. They'll extend the list.
Okay, so you know for a fact that let's say it's 4 games for Game of the Year. they almost have to just so the fans don't get mad, even though it's still stupid. They're gonna throw in a Nintendo game. So we got three
Will
Sony
they?
games. Yeah, well, I feel like you
They'll
got
probably
God
throw
of War,
Kirby in there. They'll
you got
probably throw
God of
Kirby in there.
War,
Yeah.
you got Elden Ring, and you got Forbidden West. Those are the three that I feel like they're gonna put on Game of the Year. So you got a fourth game,
Yeah.
and I feel like somebody got to get in there. Somebody. Splatoon.
No, it's probably going to be Kirby or Xenoblade.
Like,
It's
we'll be
probably-
lucky if Xenoblade makes it to the RPG category. I
Yeah.
really think it's going to be snubbed heavily.
Because they really got something with Xeno. I don't know what it is.
Because
Well, because the first year, they remember the first year.
The excuse was December.
Yeah, the
Correct.
excuse was December. The year after that, they for going that one for what was the game that came out the year after that? It was,
They did it for
something on Sony, and they just straight up acted like they didn't say that.
And then Halo came out late, and they still mentioned it.
Yeah.
They still came up with a way to talk about Halo Infinite.
Yeah. So,
and then you nominate. Then the year where Xenoblade was supposed to win, you nominate DLC.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
That's the year where he got called out, like to the point where he got mad and started blocking people, and he tried to compare it to Paris Games, and like Paris Games didn't do that. Like they didn't nominate DLC. They didn't even, that game wasn't even on there. So like, bruh.
And then Torna came out in the summer.
Yeah, and
wasn't talked about.
He didn't talk about it. They didn't even talk about it. So I really do think that depending on what that list is, Bayonetta might have a shot at getting nominated at least. I mean, not Bayonetta, Xenoblade have a shot at getting nominated just because I don't think they got that much in the RPG list that to make it look like to make it look
that. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's nothing beating Xeno in the RPG category. It's not.
I have noticed that for whatever reason, it's always a third-party game that gets the nod, or it's the expected game to win Game of the Year. If it's a third-party game that does not have a Nintendo version, it's always that. Because honestly, the year Mortal Kombat 11 came out should have been the year. Mortal Kombat 11 probably should have won that year. That was a pretty good game. Like that year, that was probably one of the best games that year.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it won the fighting category that year.
No, it did not.
It didn't. Who won that year?
Probably Blaze Blue or something. Whatever version.
Something like that. I just know it wasn't them.
Yeah, definitely wasn't them.
It wasn't Mortal Kombat, even though they should have got best nostalgia pop for that trailer they put out with Chester Might in it. So,
and then when they do nominate a version that back then, when these third parties did support Nintendo or whatever, they nominated for the awards before there was a Nintendo version, because a lot of the times they will hold that version back or whatever, and it would come out to the beginning of the next year, and then they nominate all the Xbox versions. So it's like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I have noticed. There hasn't been, because there's a lot of multi-platform third-party games out there, right? And a lot of them are pretty good. It's just like whenever they happen to also have a Nintendo version, either that version doesn't exist yet, or they magically don't even nominate it most of the time.
Yep.
So it's just strange, real strange occurrence I've seen across pretty much all media, to be honest with you. Well, especially Keeley, he's gonna do whatever he's gonna do, because whatever publisher pays the most is gonna. That's not that's not to knock it, because he's got to pay bills. Like,
you gotta pay the bills. Like,
right.
You got to pay for ads to show up on there to get the show running. So
because before, when Spike TV had it, people were getting upset, but I'm like, dude, you have to. That's how you pay for these things.
Yeah.
And he found out the hard way, especially after 2013, when you try to do it his way, and that we all remember that dumpster fire.
You gotta sell ass, man.
Yeah,
you gotta sell ass, or it's gonna be a problem.
Every time you say that, I swear you said sell ass. I'm like, all right.
Well,
Yeah, I mean that's true.
sell
I mean-
commercials.
I mean,
You
hey,
change that.
yeah,
Podcast is
all
ready.
All right, Jeff. Let's see.
Hey, OnlyFans is popping. OnlyFans is popping. You know, sometimes you know.
Somebody said Bayonetta?
Trinell said, what game wins best music in the category? Personally, I think is Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but
That's not gonna happen.
But
I would
not.
give it to Mario Rabbids.
Mario
Yeah.
Rabbits. Maybe.
Especially if Nas does the diss track. No, I'm playing.
Even this diss track.
That game is so great, though.
Mhm.
It's a really good game.
So Mario Rabbids because did they
When
get
is that coming
Kirkhope to
out?
come back?
Did they get who to come back?
Grant Kirkhope. Did they
I
get
don't
him to
know.
come back? So
Not sure.
yeah.
They get them to come back to do more, then I'll
Yeah, because
definitely.
that game comes out in 4 days. Man,
Yeah,
that's
it's
crazy.
around the corner too. Yeah,
Listen, I'm gonna hold off on this one because I didn't even
Well,
finish the first.
yeah, I already
Well,
did that.
the thing about it is you can hold off on Ubisoft games because you know they're gonna be on sale within.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
at some
Black
point
Friday.
with DLC. With DLC.
Yeah, I'm talking about but Black Friday, Christmas, New Year's. It's gonna be on sale at least 4
Yeah.
times before 6
Mhm.
months is up. So
Yeah, it'll be 30 by the end of the month. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one's really good though.
Mhm.
Tom Fan for the win, baby.
I would
Tom
say
Fan.
push yourself to finish that one.
yeah, I need to because I got the DLC and everything for it. I need to finish it.
Tom
The
Fan,
DLC
baby.
is really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Fan.
Yep.
Love
It's
Tom
great.
Fan.
They cussing out Mario.
Call somebody, just straight up call
They actually talk now though, right? The rabbits, they actually
Yeah, I think so.
From
And
my
then not to mention they
understanding,
changed the whole fighting situation. Like I
Yeah.
like the way they changed everything.
yeah.
It's not the
Good
grid
demo
style
for that.
anymore.
I wonder if we're gonna get a demo for that. Oh,
No.
well.
I would
I'm
hope
pretty
so,
sure.
but it's only 4 days away. We probably not.
I mean, they'll probably do it afterwards. They've
That's what
done that
Metroid did.
before. Yeah,
that's
they've done
true.
it before where they're like, oh yeah, we released the game. Hold on, did somebody say something about us? Put a demo out so we can make a video
demo
about
out.
it.
With that part, make sure that part is in there. No,
Yeah.
make sure that part is in there.
Yeah. All right, people. So it's an hour and a half, and we're gonna cut it here tonight. Thank everybody in the chat for joining. Really do appreciate it.
Yep.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all the other good stuff. If you like our content, let everybody know. Follow everybody here, including Andre, because Andre did have to leave. So just make sure to follow everybody.
And Vicky.
Yeah. Sandstorm, anything you want to pimp out?
Let's see here. The giveaway. We are now over 350 subscribers. Yay. So we have started the road to 400 giveaway where when we hit 400, whenever that is, we will be giving away a $40 gift card to either Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, Steam, platform of your choice. So make sure you head over to Twitter. That's where it's at. And throw your entry in so you can have a chance. The last person who won actually was Dark Void. So once again, congratulations to Dark Void because I think he won the $30 last time. So
Okay.
yeah. So as far as tomorrow, Juice asked me to be on the podcast over there, so I'll be guest starring on the podcast on the Juice is Loose podcast. So if any of you guys watch that, make sure you come over there. There's probably gonna be some more monotony. I have no clue what's going on. They don't ever inform me in these things, so I'm just kind of got to fill in, I guess, the janitor, if you will.
All right.
So but other than that, check us out on Saturdays. For the Stormcast, I don't have anything as of yet, but I'm sure there'll be some sort of controversy to talk about by that time. So other than that, like Jay said, make sure you follow all these guys: Jay, Jack, Shadow, Andre, Vicky, especially. Gotta
Please follow me. Please.
gotta give a shout out.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's
Follow
doing her
us.
own thing. She's going hard. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely follow her. But especially because we definitely don't want to get killed. You know?
Yeah,
That too.
that part.
That too.
So yeah, that's it for me.
All right, Jack.
Kind of what I mentioned. I feel like I mentioned it a lot now, but yeah, definitely gotta get this video done now that the adulting is over with. So I'll probably end up recording that tomorrow, and then trying to release it that same time frame. And I'm kind of glad that I held off on it, because there was some more information that did come out behind the VR content that I was going to cover. So that'll be pretty big. Kind of going into my ideas as into what Xbox Game Cloud is going to look like on Quest 2. Now that Microsoft and Meta has that partnership, and then just kind of really talk about what the VR space is looking like, and it's kind of showing what the console space should look like. Because when you look at the Meta 2 and you see, hey, it's accessible, it's affordable, and it's wireless, it's okay that it's not the best graphical platform. It's something that everybody can pick up, so everyone's gearing towards that. To where on the console side, everybody wants to go for the most expensive, high-end, system. But I'll get into a little bit more than that, as into where I see all of this going over time, and the competition that seems to be coming in from Pico, and just going that route. And also from the music side of it, as you all know, album dropped yesterday, getting a lot more reception than I thought I would this fast. So I'm definitely happy about that. So I appreciate everybody that went and supported, that went and downloaded more music behind that. So I was, especially coming from like Vicky's interview that we did. Yeah, I'm really proud about what I'm seeing. So yeah, definitely go check it all out.
Sweet. Shadow.
So speaking of music, if any of you guys follow TJ, if you don't, go follow TJ on Twitter. It's at Master Sword. On Twitter, he released the album not too long ago, and I have a little complimentary part of that. So if you want to hear from,
definitely gotta hear it now.
You want to hear from Shadowfox Infinite on a track called Combo Breaker, you can listen to that. It is on all popular platforms.
And which one?
The song is called Combo Breaker, but the name of the album, let me pull the name of the album real quick so I can see.
I was trying to find him on Twitter. You said at Master Sword?
Yes.
I didn't realize it.
Master Sword, at Master Sword Music. And the name of the album, let's see, Heroes Awaken, I believe is the name of the album, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
It is, what is the official name? I'm trying to get I don't want to get it wrong here. It is Heroes Awakening. The Legend of TJ Heroes Awakening by TJ the Gamer.
Oh yeah, I see it right here. Okay.
You said at Master Sword Music.
Yeah, it's at Master Sword _YT.
Okay.
That's how I found it. Okay.
So just follow him on there. You'll see all kinds of stuff on there. You can whole bunch of little game related bangers on there. So you can check that stuff out. There's a bunch of other content that I'm working on as well. There's places I visited and did documentaries on. I'll try to upload that stuff as soon as I can. There's reviews that I have coming up. So yeah, know the channel is there. There'll be a lot of content coming before the end of the year. So for the people that sub, you actually get a benefit out of it instead of feeling like you got screwed for the last 2 years. So man, this dude does one Shadowcast a year, like, but nah, you'll get stuff. So stay sub, stay following all these guys. Do play games, have fun, we impress other people, all the other kind of fuck shit. That's kind of where I'm at. So.
just to be fair, people, I did try to bribe Shadow with a pint of rum, and he didn't take it.
And he's not.
It was Jamaican Appleton rum too, from Jamaica.
I had to go home and be a family man,
and he didn't want to take it. So
and he's not.
I tried, people. I tried. I told him to show it to the wife. He didn't want to show it to the wife. I'm like,
she was
it's Appleton.
She wanted other things at the time.
Don't come in here with no Jamaican rum.
So I'll have other content related to why I had to ditch that. So you'll see that soon, and then
I just want y'all to know I was looking out for everybody. I offered.
You did offer. So there's one very, very important review, I would say, that will also be coming. So stay tuned for that. And I do plan on doing another collaboration podcast with the Terminator Juices Loose crew or whatever. Typically, we want to try to get one together to do it on Xenoblade. It's going to be spoiler filled though, So if you want to go there and you haven't played the game, I don't know what to tell you. I'll talk to Terminator Juice and see how we're going to work that out and then go from there. But hopefully we can get it together. We kind of talked to it loosely on Twitter, but I'll try to get to him and see if we can get it together again, get the whole crew together again, bring Sandstorm in so he can be excited.
Come through and just make sure I yell spoiler every other minute. Gotcha.
All the spoilers. Let me tell you what this character does. Let me tell you how everybody's relating. Let me stop.
That's when Numa showed up.
You're gonna have me like Tion with Monica. Sorry, that's a little too. That was just a little too much for today.
Yeah, that's a little bit above my pay grade.
All right, so people, once again, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, follow. I did do a video this morning for the She-Hulk with Vicky. We're going to be doing Rings of Power season review next Sunday. So check that out at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing a fresh take on Rings of Power. So other than that, I do have some live streams in the pipeline. I had a Let's Talk Live with Blandrew. You can check that out. I did that on Friday. You can check that out. I'm going to try to make sure I do. I'm going to try to get as many Let's Talk Lives in as I can. With different people, so check that out. We're gonna try to do for Friday or Saturday, depending. So just depending on how schedules line up. Y'all know how it is when you're an adult and got a job because you got to work, you got bills to pay. If y'all are kids, man, y'all need to enjoy yourself. Enjoy it while you have it.
Being gal is not fun. When he tells you to go be a family man, that's not fun. It's a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot of responsibility. So, but yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And next week we got a special guest coming through.
Hey.
We're in trouble. See you guys next week. Thank you guys for watching, and we're out.
All right.
Peace.
Don't touch grass, cut grass.
Yeah, put that on a t-shirt. Put that on a t-shirt.